Three capabilities, each one completely ordinary. An assistant that can read your private documents, an assistant that can read things from the outside world, an assistant that can send something back out. Any two of those, and you have a useful tool. All three at once, and you have handed an attacker a channel into your organization that does not appear anywhere in your architecture diagram. And almost nobody decided to build it. It accumulated and has a name. Simon Willison called it the lethal trifecta. And the name has stuck because it describes something teams keep assembling by accident. Give me the next few minutes and you will not just know the definition, you will be able to look at any AI deployment in your organization, a chat assistant, a feature your vendor switched on last month, an automation someone built in their own time, and tell within about a minute whether it has all three. And you will know which one to take away. Start with why the combination matters, because the individual parts are genuinely useful, and I am not going to pretend otherwise. I find it helps to think of these systems as a prodigy intern, brilliant, tireless, quick to learn, and completely unable to tell the difference between an instruction you gave and an instruction someone else left lying around for it to find. The intern does not lack competence at the task. It lacks the concept of provenance. Every sentence it encounters carries the same authority, whether it came from you, from a customer, or from a stranger who correctly guessed that a machine would read it before a human did. This is why filtering disappoints people. You are not trying to catch a known pattern of malicious text. You are trying to enforce a distinction the architecture does not make. The model is not being tricked into ignoring the rules. It is following instructions faithfully. It simply cannot tell whose instructions they are. Condition 1. Access to private data. The assistant can see something an outsider should not. Your documents, your customer records, your vulnerability scan, your strategy deck. On its own, this is just a well-configured tool. Condition 2. Exposure to untrusted content. The assistant reads something that did not originate inside your organization, a supplier's PDF, a support ticket, a web page, an email. On its own, this is just a tool that is actually useful, because a tool that can only read what you wrote is not doing much. Condition 3. The ability to communicate outward. Send an email, call an API, write to a system, render an image from a URL, and I will come back to that one, because it is the condition people miss most often. Hold all three in the same session and the sequence writes itself. The assistant reads the untrusted thing. The untrusted thing contains an instruction. The assistant follows it, using the private data it already holds, and sends the result somewhere you did not choose. 3 places I keep finding all three switched on. They are not 3 different problems. They are the same problem at 3 levels of visibility, and the visibility drops sharply as you go down. The first is the one everyone imagines. Someone types something clever into a chat box. That version is comfortable because it implies an attacker who is present and identifiable. The uncomfortable version is indirect. The attacker never touches your system. They write the instruction into a document your assistant will eventually read. The second is the one I would look at this week. It is a small button inside a product you already pay for, labeled something like Summarize with AI. It reads a record you did not write. It runs with the permissions of whoever clicked it, and it can act on what it finds. That is the complete trifecta behind one-click, shipped in a minor release on by default and never reviewed, because from a change management point of view, nothing changed. The third is the one with the largest blast radius. Vulnerability management is an obvious candidate for automation. Structured data, punishing volume, repetitive triage. So teams feed scanner output to a model. That export is a map of your weakest assets. The model reads ticket text alongside it, and because the point is automation, it can write back private data, untrusted input, outbound capability. Scanner output was never designed to be read as instructions. It is being read that way now. Here is what I actually do with this, and it is the reason I find the trifecta useful rather than merely interesting. You do not have to solve prompt injection. Nobody has. You have to ensure that no single context holds all three conditions at once. That is a removal exercise, and removal is something security teams already know how to do. I cut the outbound channel first. It is the one people defend hardest, and the one that converts a disclosure into an action. An assistant that proposes a change for a human to approve keeps most of the value and sheds most of the risk. Then I separate the sessions. The context that reads untrusted content should not be the context that holds privileged data, unglamorous architecture. It works. Then I give the assistant its own identity. Running as the person who clicked means every permission that person has accumulated over 6 years is now reachable by anything the model reads. And for anything a vendor sells you, 3 questions in the review. What untrusted content does this feature ingest? What identity does it run as? And what can it do with the result? Those 3 answers tell you whether you have just bought a trifecta. So, private data, untrusted content, outbound capability, safe in pairs, dangerous as a set. Do not try to make the intern wiser. It is not going to develop judgment about provenance. That was never on the roadmap. What you can change is how much you handed in a single sitting. If you want the written version of this with the 3 cases worked through properly, it is on the site, CompoundTrust.in, under Field Notes. I am CompoundTrust, a security veteran's field notes for the AI era. Trust compounds. We set the rate.